Hello, welcome back. So in this video I am going to explain a script that I have written for sys and system password change in mostly in Oracle databases we do it. So this will clear lot of concept, what are the specific entities that I am using for creating this script. Okay, so you can have various different methods to do that, but I am explaining what I have written. Based on that I will be explaining it. So what we are going to consider, first thing, that we are going to run this script from a centralized server which will be able to connect to all your databases. Okay, so it should connect all databases via TNS entry. So what my environment I am doing, I am connecting to all the database from a centralized database which have all the entries that are the TNS entries. Now considering that as a prereq, going ahead, what I am going to do, I have created a file that is a simple text file which will have all the databases name. Okay, so this is the simple text file that you can create, and you can have any number of your databases name that you want to connect. So these are actually your TNS entries also with the same name, so that whenever it tries to connect, it should connect that. Now moving ahead, when we start the script, again we start with the same header and your bang line. Then next, going forward, what I am going to do, I am going to use a prefix. Okay, so normally when I change the password, I set a prefix that will be the same across the DBs and followed by a DB name, whatever is the name of the DB. So you can change it depending upon your need. I am doing in this way. So my current prefix is this. Okay, so if my database name is test1, so the password will become dvnd db test1. So that will become my password. So this is the current prefix, and the new prefix that I want to make sure, that will be ebs123 test1 or ebs123 test2. Okay, whatever name you want to give. Okay, so make it test2 here. Now going ahead, these two values you have to mention. You can define it based on whatever value you want, or you want to have some random values or whatever, you can use that methods to generate random values. Now first thing, I will connect to my system from where I would be connecting to all the databases. So this is the environment that I am sourcing for my centralized system, which is my Oracle database, which will be used for connecting to other DBs. Okay, then I am defining a file that is a variable check file where it will store the log file name. So this will be having a log file name, and that will be stored. Then there would be a password change log file. So there are two different variables that I will explain why I am using two different. So that will be explained in further when we go below. So this is the password change log. So two files we are going ahead and doing it. Next, I am again defining a variable that will hold my email IDs where I want to send the mails. Once the script is done, or in case of any issues, any errors, whatever it does, it will go ahead and send the mail to the respective recipients. So you can have multiple recipients or a single one as well. Then moving ahead, again I am using a very specific entity, that is a variable run user, which will determine who is running this script. Okay, so let's say your database is running from Oracle or any other users, but you have actually logged in on the server using your ID. Let's say I logged in via Himanshu and then I switched to Oracle user. So if I want to find out who was the actual user who actually logged in, that was Himanshu, and then I switched to Oracle user. So I want to find the name of actual person who was actually running. So that for reason I am storing that value into run user. Okay, and now this script I will be saving with some name, system password change.sh, and I am making it a parameter pass script. There it will pass one parameter, either prod or test. So whether I want to do it for prod systems or for test systems. Okay, so the same thing, next it is checking whether the parameters that you have passed, they are at least one parameter or not. So if you have not passed any of these parameters, either prod or test, this will fail and say you have not passed any parameter, either pass test or prod for this. Okay, so this is the if condition. Then moving ahead, then I am checking that okay, if you have passed the first parameter, positional parameter, so this is called a positional parameter. So if the first positional parameter is passed as test, okay, so what it will do, it will read the file test db that earlier I created, okay, and store that value in the inst file, any variable, whatever variable name you want. And if it is prod, you can again create a separate file, prod db, and then initiate that value as prod db, so that variable will have the prod db value here. Or in case both are not there, then it will say wrong parameter passed and it will exit, the script will exit. Okay, so these are the logic to check and make sure the script is working fine, the parameters are passed correctly, everything is working at the parameter level. And then we will start with two things. So in this script, what I have done, I have written two functions. One is your password checker, that will check whether the current password that is there, it works or not. So it can be used for testing your passwords also across multiple systems, whether that password works or not. And the other function I have written which will actually change the password. Okay, so whichever functions, or you want to add multiple functions, you can add more functions as well. So the first password checker function, what it is doing, it is reading or starting a for loop in which it will read the value of the inst file that I have written here, inst file, and that file will read the values from either testdb file or prodb file, and it will not read anything starting with hash. So normally hash I use for commenting. So you can see my other videos related to this series, that is the Write With Me series, where I have explained how the hash is working here. I will give the link in the above information button. Then once the loop starts, what it will do, it will first check whether the TNS ping is working or not. Okay, as soon as the TNS ping starts working, so it will store that data in a file, and in that file what I am going to do, I am going to use a command. So whenever a TNS ping works, it will give me an output as OK. So if that log has something as OK, that means it should be fine, like the TNS ping is working fine. So if it is going ahead and finding a OK from this file, and if that count, so now what I am doing, wc-l, if that count is 1, that means that is working fine. So in case that is not 1, so what will say, then I am matching that count, that if it is not equal to 1, that means there is some issue in the TNS ping, please check. So it will say TNS ping to this particular DB name. So this DB name is the variable that it has read. So if let's say it has read test1, so it will go ahead and say the TNS ping to test1 failed, please check. So that we have to validate. Then next what it is going to do, it is going to test whether the connection with the current password is working or not. So what I am going to do, the DB name, I am going to convert it. So whether you enter in a smaller case or bigger case, if you want to convert, you can convert it into upper to lower or lower to upper using the translate command. So I am converting that into the lower case. Okay, so it will be going into lower case. Then moving ahead, what it is going to do, it will connect to SQL plus sysdba. So this is the command related to Oracle. Okay, and where it will connect to the system using the prefix. So the prefix that I have earlier defined, that is the current prefix, that prefix and the DB name together will be the password. So I am connecting to the system user using this password and using the TNS name as DB name. So DB name is my TNS name here, it will be connecting here, and then it will validate and run a query simply, name from VDOLA database, and exit. So if it is having some output, it is going to show that particular output. If it is unable to connect, that means it will give error invalid username password. That means you can identify, okay, that password is not working for this particular system. So this was your first pass checking function. Then the other function that I have written is change pass. So in the change pass, what I am doing, again same thing, I am opening a for loop using the file. That file was passed, where it is reading the line by line all the DB or the TNS names, and it will not read anything starting with hash. And here again I am just translating the DB name from upper to lowercase, and then I am connecting to that database using the same method earlier how I validated. And now what I am going to do, I am going to run my command alter, that is related to Oracle DB, no need to confuse, but it is going ahead and taking the same variables that were passed in your Linux shell script, that is your new prefix, the new prefix that you want to set, and the DB name. So now my new system will be EBS123 and test1 DB name. So the password of these two users will be changed to the new values, and here the function close. So it will keep doing the same for all the list as per the file, either the prod DB file or the test DB file. So these are the functions. Okay, so till here these are the functions. Now the main program, when it will run, it will print some line, whatever you want to print, and then you going to use the select loop. Okay, how the select loop works. So the select loop, how it works, again you can go ahead in my shell scripting videos, you can find how the select loop works in bash scripting. I will give it in the description again. So in the select loop, what I am going to pass, that whether out of any three, pass check, change pass or exit, whatever you want, what it will do, it will go ahead and say which function you want to read. So I will open a case. If it is pass check, it will go ahead and call the pass checker command, pass checker function, and redirect any output to this log file. So this check file was the log file for the pass checker, this check file that was checking the TNS DB entries and the connections. And once it is completed, it will send a mail with the log, so that the user can validate whether the log was fine or not. So this will have all the details. $1 was the whether it was done for test or prod, the current date whenever it was executed, run by which user, and who was the recipient, and what was the file. Same way, if the other function was chosen, in the case it will go ahead and show me change pass, then it will go ahead and show me specific entity, what specific password you want. Okay, so this is so this is your log file. So change pass, whenever it will change the password, it will go ahead and store it in your log file. So this was the again a variable that was defined earlier, pass ch at the top, and again once it is completed, it will send a mail with the log, so that you can validate where the password was changed or not changed. And last option was exit. In case someone wants to exit, you don't want to run any, you can click on exit. And I am giving one more option other than any three. If you are giving any option, it will say invalid option, and the program will exit using a break command, and it will come out of the loop and it will exit. Okay, so I hope this is clear. This code I will write in my blog, and I will give it in the description below, so you can check this code. So you can modify the code as you want depending upon your need. So this is how I have written. You can of course make any changes whatever you want to do in the code. So that was all for this video. Thank you.